At just 22 years old, Keely Hodgkinson is no longer a rising talent. She is already one of the most dominant forces in women's middle distance running, and perhaps the most dangerous contender heading into the Olympic Games. But her journey didn't begin with records, medals, or global recognition. It began with inspiration. Like many British athletes of her generation, Hodgkinson's story traces back to the unforgettable summer of the London 2012 Olympic Games. Watching Jessica Ennis-Hill win gold ignited something powerful in a young Keely. That moment didn't just inspire admiration, it created direction. By the age of 9, she had already joined a local athletics club, beginning a journey defined by discipline, sacrifice, and a relentless pursuit of improvement. By 15, she claimed her first national title, but what truly separated Hodgkinson from others wasn't just her physical ability, it was her mindset. She embraced the grind early. Training twice a day, she developed a philosophy that would later define her racing style. The more she suffered in training, the easier racing would become. For her, pain wasn't an obstacle, it was preparation. That mentality paid off in historic fashion. At just 19 years old, Hodgkinson stepped onto the European stage at the Indoor Championships in Torun, Poland, and left as a champion. Not just any champion, but the youngest European indoor champion in the women's 800 meters. It was a breakthrough moment, one that signaled the arrival of a new star in global athletics. But the real shock came later that same year on the biggest stage of all, the Olympics. At the delayed Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, Hodgkinson was not the favorite. She wasn't expected to win. Yet as the race unfolded, she did something extraordinary. With fearless execution and tactical precision, she surged through the field and claimed silver, beating seasoned veterans and rewriting history in the process. Even more impressively, she broke the long-standing British record set by Kelly Holmes. In that moment, Hodgkinson transitioned from a promising young athlete into a legitimate global contender. However, one name stood above the rest in that race: Athing. The American dominated the final, leaving Hodgkinson with silver. For many athletes, that would have been the pinnacle, but for Keely, it was only the beginning of something much bigger. Because from that point forward, a pattern began to emerge, and it would define the next phase of her career. If there is one theme that has followed Keely Hodgkinson since her Olympic breakthrough, it is consistency at the highest level and frustration at finishing second. In the years following Tokyo, Hodgkinson didn't fade away. She didn't struggle with expectations. Instead, she elevated her performances even further. At the World Championships, she once again found herself in the final, once again delivering under pressure, and once again, silver. This time, the race was closer. Against Athing, Hodgkinson pushed all the way to the line, losing by the smallest of margins. It was a performance that proved she belonged at the very top, but also reinforced a growing narrative. She was close, very close, but not quite there yet. Then came another challenger, Moraa. Unpredictable, aggressive, and fearless in championship racing, Moraa added a new layer of complexity to the 800-meter landscape. At the Commonwealth Games and later at the World Championships, she managed to get the better of Hodgkinson, once again leaving the Brit with silver. By this point, the pattern was undeniable: silver medal after silver medal, major final after major final, always among the best, but never standing on the top step. And yet, rather than breaking her, it sharpened her focus. Hodgkinson has been open about this. Her motivation is simple, almost brutally honest: too many silvers. That is what drives her now. Not records, not rankings, not even recognition, just one thing: gold. And as the 2024 season began, something changed. At the European Championships, Hodgkinson delivered exactly what was expected of her. Calm, controlled, and dominant, she secured another title, reinforcing her status as one of the most reliable performers in the sport. But it was what happened next that truly sent a message to the world. At the London Diamond League, in front of a home crowd, Hodgkinson didn't just win, she made a statement. From the very start, she took control of the race. no hesitation, no waiting. She dictated the pace, led from the front, and in the final stretch, she pulled away with authority. The result? A stunning 1:54.61, a new British record, the fastest time in the world that year, and one of the fastest performances in history. In that moment, everything changed. She was no longer chasing the best. She had become the one to beat. But championship racing is a different world, and Keely Hodgkinson knows that better than anyone. Times don't win Olympic finals, positioning does. There are no pacemakers, no pacing lights, no perfect rhythm. Just 8 athletes, each fighting for space, for control, and for survival over 2 brutal laps. The real race doesn't begin until 600 meters, when the body starts to shut down and only those with the strongest minds can respond. This is where Hodgkinson's greatest strength may lie. Because beyond her physical talent, beyond her speed and efficiency, there is something else: her ability to endure pain. The 800 meters is often described as one of the most demanding events in track and field. It requires the speed of a sprinter and the endurance of a distance runner, all compressed into less than 2 minutes of controlled chaos. Hodgkinson doesn't just accept that reality, she embraces it. She has spoken openly about the pain of the event, the burning legs, the inability to lift your stride, the overwhelming fatigue that hits in the final 200 meters. But instead of fearing it, she prepares for it, she trains for it, and when it comes, she leans into it. That mental resilience could be the deciding factor in Paris, because while athletes like Moraa bring unpredictability and Athing brings raw talent, Hodgkinson brings something different, a combination of experience, consistency, and unfinished business. And then there is the bigger question, the one that looms over the entire event: the world record. Set in 1983 by Jarmila Kratochvilova, the mark of 1:53.28 has stood untouched for decades. For years, it has seemed almost unreachable, but now, for the first time in a long time, that conversation is changing. With her recent performances, Hodgkinson has entered that conversation. Is she ready to break it? Maybe not yet, but is it possible? Absolutely. Still, for now, her focus remains clear. Not records, not history, just one race, one moment, one goal: Olympic gold. Because after years of coming close, after standing on the podium but not at the top, after proving herself again and again, there is only one thing left to do: win.